Next, we will move on to theorem of parallel axis. So the theorem of parallel axis is the moment of inertia of a plane area about an axis through its center of gravity is denoted by Ig. So Ig means G is the center of gravity, I is the moment of inertia. Then moment of inertia of the area about any other axis, you can take it AB. Okay, see this diagram, you can take it AB. So this is G, this is Ig, actually moment of inertia about centroidal axis, Ig. Okay, AB parallel to the first and at a distance of small h from the center of gravity is given. So see this diagram. So there is a moment of inertia about centroidal axis, that is the reference line here. So the distance between these two points is small h. Okay. So now IAB, that is moment of inertia about the reference axis AB, right here. AB, moment of inertia about this thing AB, which is equal to moment of inertia about centroidal axis plus area into h square. So this is the general formula we need to prove for the theorem of parallel axis. Okay. So here we know IAB is the moment of inertia about the reference axis, Ig is the moment of inertia of the area about its center of gravity, and A is the area of the section, and h is the distance between the center of gravity of the section and the axis AB. Okay. Now we need to prove this formula. Okay. So consider a strip of a circle whose moment of inertia is required to be found out about a line AB. Okay. So let us take this strip. Okay. So this is dA or delta A, whatever you can take, dA or delta A, area of the strip, and y is the distance of the strip from the center of gravity of the section, that is from the center of gravity, the height is the y. Okay, and also h is the distance between the center of gravity and the reference line AB. Okay, now you know the general formula, dA into y square, that is delta A into y square is the moment of inertia about xx, because here y square means it is Ixx, moment of inertia about xx axis. Okay, and the moment of inertia of the whole section. So this is for strip, because I am taking area of this small strip, and I am taking the whole section about an axis passing through the center of gravity Ig, which is equal to summation of this, like this lot of strips are there in this lamina. Okay, you can sum all the strip area into y square, you will get the sum of delta A or dA into y square. So this is the moment of inertia about its center of gravity, right? Now my objective is I need to calculate the moment of inertia here, because I already clearly mentioned here IAB equal to Ig plus AH square. So I need to calculate the moment of inertia from this reference line. Okay, right. So for that, you know the formula, IAB equal to Ig plus AH square. I am substituting the Ig, summation of delta A into h plus y the whole square. Why I am putting instead of y square h plus y square means, see here. So from this reference line you need to take this height. Okay. So this is h plus y. That's why I am taking instead of y h plus y square. Okay. So therefore, which is equal to summation of delta A into, I am expanding this equation in a plus b the whole square formula, a square plus b square plus 2ab, right? So h square plus y square plus 2hy. Okay, so this is the expansion of this equation. Okay, now I am going to multiply this sigma summation of delta A inside the bracket. You will get delta summation of delta A into h square plus summation of delta A into y square, summation of delta A into 2hy. So finally this term called as AH square. Okay, and the second term called as Ig. See here, summation of A into y square is called as Ig. plus the last term you can just not taken into account, you just neglect this term, because the summation of ay is the algebraic sum of moment of all the areas about an axis through the center of gravity of the section and is equal to ay bar, where y bar is the centroidal distance between the section and the axis passing through the center of gravity. So which obviously is 0. Okay, so you can omit this last term. So your final term, it's similar to this one, first one, this one, IB equal to IG into AH square. So this is IAB. So this is all about theorem of parallel axis. Okay, right. So theorem of perpendicular axis and theorem of parallel axis we have finished. So theorem of parallel axis, we are using the theorem of parallel axis in the problem point of view. We are going to use the theorem of parallel axis. If it is a circular like section, we are going to use the theorem of perpendicular like things. Okay. The next topic is radius of gyration. Okay. So radius of gyration is simply called as, it is the root of moment of inertia to the area of the cross section. Okay. So consider, you can take see this diagram. Consider an area A, moment of inertia Ixx. Okay. Imagine that the area is concentrated in a strip parallel to the x axis with equivalent to Ixx. So this is x axis and this is y axis. From the point O, there is an area, there is a strip here. So this height is called as kxx. Okay. So Ixx equal to kx square divided by A. So kxx square equal to Ixx by A. You can bring the root left hand side, you will get this one, right? Ixx divided by root of Ixx by A. Similarly, in the y axis also, Iyy divided by area of the cross section, moment of inertia about y axis divided by area of the cross section. So this is all about radius of gyration, right? Okay, now we are going to move into this moment of determining the moment of inertia of different sections or standard sections. Okay, so we have basically we are using rectangular, square, triangular, okay, and circular section. Basically in columns we are using circular section, square, rectangular, and so on. In beams, I am talking about in buildings. Okay, in beams we are using these square and rectangular sections. Okay, so triangular sections maybe in columns may be used in triangular sections. So let's look into this moment of inertia of a rectangular section, first section, right? Now you can consider this section, rectangular section. This is x and this is y. Sorry, this is y. Okay. Now, okay, you can consider this rectangular section having a width of b and depth d. So this is the centroidal axis yy and xx. Again, as usual, you can take a small strip, right? You can take a small strip. So this area is called as the thickness of the strip called as dy, and the width of the strip is equivalent to width of the beam. Okay, so these all about this BD, and you can name this corner of the rectangle ABCD, PQRS, whatever you want. Okay, right. Now the area of strip is, you know, B into dy is the area of the strip. We know that moment of inertia of the strip about x axis, this axis. So now we are going to calculate the moment of inertia about its centroidal axis. Actually, we are going to calculate the moment of inertia Ig. Centroidal axis, we are going to calculate the moment of inertia. Okay. So you know the formula, general formula, area into distance square. So you know the area B into dy into distance y square. Okay. So which is equal to B into y square into dy, right? So now the moment of inertia of the whole section may be found using the integration procedure. Okay. You can substitute the limits of minus d by 2 plus d by 2. So you know this is the centroidal axis. So half of the top of this is d by 2, and this is also d by 2, because it is a symmetrical section. Rectangular section is a symmetrical about both x and y axis. So you have to use this lamina minus d by 2 to plus d by 2. If you are integrating means you need to substitute this limits. Okay, right. Now Ixx, that is moment of inertia about xx axis, integration of minus d by 2 to plus d by 2. You need to use this equation. That is, this is the moment of inertia of the small strip. For entire section means you need to add all the strips. There are a lot of strips are there like this. Okay. So for that only we are going to use this integration procedure. Okay. So b into y square into dy. You can take it out the constant term b, width of the section never changes. So the y is the variable thing. So integration minus d by 2 to plus d by 2 y square dy. Now you can integration means y square is y cube by 3 b into y cube by 3. You can substitute the upper and lower limits plus d by 2 minus d by 2. So which is equal to b into, so instead of y you have to substitute the upper limit first and then upper limit minus lower limit. Okay. So instead wherever the y is there you have to substitute the d by 2 value. Okay, because y is the d by 2. Okay, here. Okay. So d by 2 the whole cube, y cube divided by 3 minus of d by 2 the whole cube divided by 3. You can solve this, you will get the final result of bd cube by 12. So this is Ixx. I hope you solve this equation. Ixx. Okay, right, bd cube by 2. Similarly, the same case you need to calculate the Iyy. So Iyy means you need to substitute here b by 2 minus b by 2 plus b by 2. So you can take left hand side minus b by 2 and this is plus b by 2. Okay. So minus b by 2 plus b by 2 b into y square area into dx. Instead of dy you need to take dx. Okay. So you will get the Iyy which is equal to db cube divided by 12. Right. So the same rectangular section you can solve using Routh's rule also. This is very simple. So you know the formula here. See, Routh's rule. So for rectangular section area into S divided by 3 as per the Routh's rule, AS by 3. So you know the area of the, now you have to take the entire rectangular. You don't take the only the integration method. You need to take the elementary small strip. Okay, you can take the small strip. After that you can integrate the whole thing. For using the Routh's rules, you can take the entire rectangle, area equal to b and d, and s is the sum of the squares of y and z axis. Because we are focusing on x axis, you need to omit this x axis. You need to take y and z axis. Okay. So it is a lamina, that is a surface area. This is actually 0. The z axis there is 0. Only y is available. Okay. So s equal to d by 2 the whole square. In the y direction, see this rectangular. There is no z axis. There is no diameter. We are not considering the thickness. Right. So only s equal to d by 2 the whole square plus 0. Okay, which is equal to d square by 4. So substitute these two values, that is area into s, in this formula you will get the same bd cube divided by 12. Okay. Similarly Iyy also. Iyy which is equal to, now here you need to substitute the areas remain same, b into d or d into b. The s is here is b by 2 the whole square. Okay. So instead of d by 2 for Iyy you need to substitute b by 2 the whole square. You will get the b square divided by 4, and substitute b into d into b square by 4. You will get db cube by 12. db cube divided by 12. Okay. So this is about the by using Routh's rule you can calculate this moment of inertia, right? Okay. So next I will move on to moment of inertia of a hollow rectangular section. So it is very simple because in hollow rectangular section there is a box section, there is a this inside is open. Okay, the shaded area is the thickness of this section. Okay, you need to calculate the moment of inertia for this shaded area, this blue area you need to calculate. It's very simple. You can calculate the moment of inertia for the ABCD outer line and calculate the moment of inertia for the inner line. You can minus the big rectangular from the small rectangle. Okay, so the moment of inertia of the big rectangle is BD cube divided by 2, as we already calculated here, BD cube divided by 12. Okay, so here BD cube by 12. Okay, I am taking this small rectangle, this is B1 and D1. So the moment of inertia of this small rectangle about x-axis B1 D1 cube divided by 12. So BD cube by 12. So that is moment of inertia of big rectangle minus moment of inertia of the small rectangle, BD cube divided by 12 minus B1 D1 cube divided by 12. Okay. Similarly, IY dB cube by 12 minus D1 B1 cube divided by 12. That's all. It is over. Okay.